Hello friends, now we are going to start my new video which is on chapter 4 of sorting materials into groups of class 6th. So in this chapter it's basically a chapter of chemistry, and here we will see how we can just classify objects into groups, basically like plastic, metals, non-metals, that stuff. You will learn much further about this in other classes, in further classes like in 7th and 8th. There is a lot about this, and it's an interesting topic too. So this chapter is of 7 pages and it will be very long, so I will only make video of the 3 pages. So you need to watch the part 2 which will come soon of this video to complete this chapter and understand it fully. So let's begin with the chapter 4, sorting materials into groups, page number 1. So 4.1, objects around us. So first of all, I want to mention that all these headings and these things, some of them are very weird for NCERT, and that's why I will also help you guys to understand, so that you can just easily understand about what is written here. So let's start. We have seen that our food and clothes have so much variety in them, not just food and clothes. There is such a vast variety of objects everywhere. We see around us a chair, a bullock cart, a cycle, cooking utensils, books, clothes, toys, water, stones, and many other objects. So basically it says that there is a variety of objects in all of the world. So we can find many different types of objects of a same variety, which means we can find a pen of blue color, black color, or any other color. So that's what's mentioned here basically. All these objects have different shapes, colors, and uses. Figure 4.1. Here's the figure. Look around and identify objects that are round in shape. Our list may include a rubber ball, a football, and a glass marble. If we include objects that are nearly round, our list could also include objects like apples, oranges, and earthen pitcher. Ghada. Ghada, that's what we say in Hindi. So ghada is just basically a pot made of clay, if you don't know what a ghada is. Suppose we are looking for objects that are edible. We might include all the items that we have listed in tables 1.2, 1.1, and 1.3 in chapter 1. That's just flashback of things that you don't need to remember that much, but it's nice if you just see it once. We might also find that some of those round shaped objects we just listed out are also in this group. So round objects also in this group. Basically you understand the whole thing. Let us say we wish to make a group of objects that are made of plastics, buckets, lunch boxes, toys, water containers, pipes, and many such objects may find a place in this group. So basically you can see a lot of things around you made of plastic. There are so many ways to group objects. In the above example, we have grouped objects on the basis of their shape or the materials they are made from, and all the objects around us are made of one or more materials. These materials may be glass, metal, plastics, wood, cotton, paper, mud, or soil. Can you think of more examples of materials? So basically there are infinite types of materials, like you can, in further classes you will understand all the elements, also the compounds, but for now wood, metal, plastic, this is the basic. So you need to just understand this only. Activity 1. Let us collect as many objects as possible from around us. Each of us could get some everyday objects from home, and we could also collect some objects from the classroom or from outside the school. What will we have in our collection? Chalk, pencil, notebook, rubber, duster, a hammer, nail, soap, spoke of a wheel, bat, matchbox, salt, potato. We can also list objects that we can think of but cannot bring to classroom. For example, wall, trees, doors, tractor, road. So all of these are objects. So basically, we can also classify these objects in many things. Separate all objects from this collection that are made of from paper or wood. This way, we have divided all the objects into two groups. So you can do that. One group has the objects that are made from paper or wood, while the other group has the objects that are not made of these materials. Similarly, we could separate the things that are used for preparing food. Let us be little more systematic. List all objects collected in table 4.1. Try to identify the materials that each one is made of. So that's a task and you can do. Not necessary to mention all the objects in 4.1 because it is basically useless. You need to just understand this, not to just fill these tables because they are not necessary. It would be fun to make this large table. No, it isn't. It is a lot of work. You can just do it so that you know what is what, but it is not necessarily that fun. Just it's for knowledge. You can do it. Collecting information about as many objects as possible. It may seem difficult to find out the materials out of which some of these objects are made. In such cases, discuss with your friends, teachers and parents to identify the materials. Like you know that your toy is made up of plastic or wood or any other thing. I know that my Hot Wheel cars are made of plastic and somewhat metal, but do you know what the stuff in a car are made of? You will say metal, but metals also have types like iron, magnesium and other stuff. So that's a bigger thing. It is a group of bigger things that you will learn in different classes, and that's why it is mentioned here. You can ask your teachers, friends and parents to identify these materials. So it's better you don't just engage in these things right now because it is for later classes. You just focus on activity 2 now. Activity 2. Table 4.2 lists some common materials. You can also add more materials in. Boju wants to know whether we found some materials that were used for making more than one type of an object. Yes. Here Boju wants to know whether we found some materials that were used for making more than one type of an object. Yes, plastic is a material that was used to make a toy, a basket and other thing. So basically a material can have infinite uses or finite. So you can do many things, and Boju is thinking right. We can make infinite things from a single material. Column 1 that are known to you. So it was this sentence. Table 4.2 lists some common materials. You can also add more materials in column 1 and that are known to you. Now try to think of everyday objects you know that are made of mainly of these materials and list them in column 2. Table 4.2 different objects that are made from the same material. So wood, we will take a material here. Chair is made of wood, table is also made of wood, plow is also made of wood, bullock carts are made of wool, and its wheel is also made of wood, and many more things. The furniture in your home is also made of wood. And the same for paper, books, notebooks, newspaper, toys and calendars are also made of paper. So same thing, leather you can make many things, plastic you can make many things, and cotton same. So for leather I can give you examples like belts, you can make leather jackets, leather seat covers are also made that are very expensive, and interiors for cars are also made of leather. So these are some examples. If you don't know, plastic you know, cotton the clothes we use, the curtains that are hanging on the side of our wall, the bed sheets we sleep on are made of cotton. So not just clothes. What do we find from these tables? First, we've grouped objects in many different ways. We then found that objects around us are made of different materials. At times, an object is made of a single material, and object could also be made of many materials. Yes. And then again, one material could be used for making many different objects. what decides which material should be used? I will read this sentence again. What decides which material should be used? What decides that which material should be used for making any given object? So we have read in the fourth sentence. It seems that we need to know more about different materials. Properties of materials. Have you ever wondered why a tumbler is not made of piece of cloth? Recall our experiments with a piece of cloth in chapter 3, and also keep in mind that we generally use a tumbler to keep a liquid. Would it not be silly if we were to make a tumbler out of cloth? Figure 4.2. What we need for a tumbler is glass, plastic, metal or other such material that will hold water. Similarly, it would not be wise to use paper-like materials for cooking vessels. So in figure 4.2, using a cloth tumbler, yes. So basically you can't make a cloth tumbler because water does absorb water and just leaks it out, and it does not hold water in it. And it is also not having a definite shape, so the cloth will keep on changing its shape and it can spill out. So it's not a viable material for a tumbler. As you can see, the other hand has a glass or metal. I don't know what it is, but it is a glass or metal glass cup, or glass or cup you can say, made of metal or glass. As we said, they do not absorb water and do not leak it out, so that's why it is still holding the water inside it and it is not leaking. But from the other one, it is obviously leaking. We see then that we choose a material to make an object depending on its properties and the purpose for which the object is to be used. So what are all the properties of materials? What would be important for their usage? Some properties are discussed here. So what are all the properties of materials that would be important for their usage? So there are many properties. So the section explains that properties of materials, which states that there are many properties of materials, like their appearance, their hardness, their soluble or insoluble, and much more. That is on next pages. But in this class we'll run only a few ones because these are easy and basic, so you need to know these. So first of these properties are appearance. So what is appearance? Basically the thing that you see in front of you, you can identify its color. If it's rough or smooth, I can say it is shiny or dull, you can say. So that's what appearance means. So basically appearance is what you think about an object and how it looks. So let's read. Materials usually look different from each other. Yes, wood looks very different from iron. Iron appears different from copper or aluminium. Yes, you can differentiate between many metals, but if two materials are painted in the same color, have the same texture, but they are of different materials, you can't find their difference from their appearance. You need to state other differences also in their properties that are not there in wood. So iron, copper and aluminum that are not there in wood. Activity 3. Collect small pieces of different materials: paper, cardboard, wood, copper wire, aluminum sheet, chalk. Do you think any of these appear shiny? Separate the shiny materials into a group. Now observe as the teacher cuts out the materials into two pieces and looks at freshly cut surfaces. What do you notice? Does the freshly cut surfaces of some of these materials appear shiny? Include these objects also in a group of shiny materials. Did you notice that such a shine or luster in the other materials? Cut them anyway as you can. Repeat this in the class with as many materials as possible and make a list of those with and without luster. Instead of cutting, you can You can rub the surface of the material with sandpaper to see if it has luster. Materials that have such a luster are usually called metals. Iron, copper, aluminum, and gold are examples of metals. Some metals often lose their shine and appear dull because of the action of air and moisture on them. We therefore notice the luster on only their freshly cut surfaces. When you visit an ironsmith on an workshop, look out for freshly cut surfaces of metal rods to see if they have luster. So this was a huge activity and it was useful. Sometimes activities are not that useful, but this was a very useful activity and it explains a lot about appearance. So basically it talks about shine or luster and dullness. So here the activity states that we need to take different materials and just cut them so that we can see the interior parts of them or the freshly cut surfaces that are inside the material. Like the pipe is cut here in this picture 4.3. So in this picture you can basically see that the material of a pipe is cut into two parts. You can see a white or shiny portion in the center. That area is the freshly cut surface, and if that's shiny, it's a metal, mostly a metal and sometimes a non-metal, that you will learn in further classes what is a non-metal or metal. So here they gave example of objects of different materials to look and just cut them. So here they also said we can just rub it with a sandpaper to see if it has luster. I would not recommend for you guys to just rub it with sandpaper. It is safer to ask your parents or the teacher to rub it with sandpaper, because sandpaper can sometimes just peel off your skin. That is very dangerous for children because our skin is soft. So you need to do it in adult supervision. And also materials like iron or copper or different metals, you can say aluminum example, these cannot be cut in two halves very easily because it is a very hard substance, and cutting it or breaking it in two pieces is hard, and that's what we'll go and study in the hardness part of this chapter. We'll read all this in hardness, but I cannot start hardness because I'm already over time and I need to just stop making this video, or else it will get very long, and it is not good to see long videos for a long time. It's just boring sometimes. So I will just stop the video here, and if you enjoy, just like and comment on the video, and please try to subscribe. Only 20% or 30% of all you watch are subscribed. And if you have any doubts in this chapter till now, you can ask in the comments, and let's meet you other time, and till then, goodbye.